So let us start to this session. In today's session, we're seeing about the options, which is one type of your derivative, right? So let me recall what is options once again. Option is nothing but it is a derivative instrument. It is a derivative instrument that gives the holder a right to buy or sell an asset at a set price, or I can put it at certain price, at a certain price on a certain date. So definition seems a little bit vague. So options is nothing but it's a derivative instrument which gives the holder a right to buy or and right to sell an asset at a certain price on a certain date. So this will be a little bit more specific to you. The certain price that we refer here is nothing but the strike price, and the set date is nothing. The certain date is nothing but your contract expiration. So we know that I have already said about the two types of options we had. We know that options is traded in both exchanges and over the counter market. So you have to know where it is traded. We know that options is been traded in both exchanges and the over the counter market, over the counter market. Then we have already discussed on what is the two types of options we had. We had the call option and one we had the put option. So what is the call option? Call option is nothing but it gives the holder the right to buy. Call option is nothing but it gives the holder the right to buy an underlying asset. I put it as UA by a certain date for a certain price. For a certain price. Similarly, when we see about the put option, the definition remains the same. Only thing is that you have to just change the cell, right? The holder, okay. Put option is nothing but the holder has the right to sell the underlying asset by a certain date for a certain price. By a certain date for a certain price. Right. Next, we have seen about the now what is the price of the contract? Because when we are entering into the agreement of the contract of buying an option contract, we are entering an agreement, right? For that, we have to pay the price for the contract. So the option contract, the price, what is the price? So we have to pay a particular price. This price is nothing but your excise price, or you can say it as strike price. So at which price you're going to buy your option contract. That is the meaning of your strike price. Here we have the certain price. The certain price is nothing but your strike price. So at which price you're going to buy the option contract, right? So that is your excise price or your strike price. Next thing you have to remember on the date of the contract, the date of the option contract. So I put it as simple as date in the contract or date of the contract, whatever maybe it is. I'll put it as date. right? So date is nothing but the expiration date, or the maturity date, expiration date or the maturity date, which can be represented as capital T, which is nothing but the time period at end of your maturity or the expiration date, right? So this thing, these two equations you have to remember. It's very simple. The same way, one more thing is that we'll be getting into the example first. So I'll be explaining the examples. So before that, we have seen some of the terminologies. One is your exercise price is nothing but the strike price, which is nothing but it is a price of the option, or I can say the price of the contract is also called as exercise price or strike price. The same way, the date in the contract could be it could be the expiration date or the maturity date. So broadly, you can see when you go for trading in the exchange market or the over the counter, you find that you have the types of options they have. So we have two types of options normally. We have the American options and the European options. American options, and you have the European options. So what is this American options and Europe? Here, I'm not referring to any location of an exchange or location of an option. So here they are not referring it the location wise. Here it is the nature of the options contract. They're talking about it. So nature of option is nothing but the American option is nothing but see before the maturity date. Suppose you have the maturity date is on November, okay, and the maturity date is on November. So within the November you can exercise the option. Okay, the American option is nothing but you can exercise the particular option contract. That is exercising means what? You may be buying a call or you may be selling a put, or you may be buying a put or you may be selling a call option, right? So when you're going to buy a call option, you're exercising a right which is more favorable to you. So within the maturity date, whatever date you can exercise your option, but within your maturity date. So that is your American option, right? So when it comes to the European option, you can exercise your contract, exercise your right only on November. So only on your expiration date that you have to remember. So only on the expiration date, only at the maturity date that is on November, only at that date only you can exercise your option. That is only you can exercise your right. If you have bought a call option, only at the November, that is end of the November month, then only you can exercise your call option. But when it comes to the American option, you can exercise between any month, between November, within November. Okay, it could be on the August, or it could be on September or October, maybe on July. You can exercise any your option within the maturity date. So that is the difference between the nature of the options and European options. So in India, we have the European options. So the nature of option is nothing but European. Right here, we are talking about nature option, not the types of option. So don't have the confusion that American means American has to be, you have to just state only here we are not referring any geographical location. It is nothing but the nature of the options, right? So this you remember. So we had the some of the terminologies that we have remember. American options and European options. Then we have seen about the call and put options. So let us get into the examples that I have given you. So right, you have the just look at the table. Okay, you open the table. You have the table. I have my table on my own. Okay, I can't able to open in this tab. Okay, let me explain to you on that. You just see that. The first one is it has given me the price of the call options, right? On Google, price of the call options that Google has been given to you. That is on May 8, 2020 from the codes provided by CBOE. Okay, CBOE is nothing but Chicago Board of Options Exchange. Okay, so Chicago Board of Options Exchange. Chicago Board of Options Exchange. So here they have given you the strike price, right? They have given you the strike price. Then they have given the maturity of the option contract, June option contract, September 2013 option contract, then December 2013 option contract, and then they have given you the bid and offer rate of the particular contract. Okay, we have to know that the largest exchange in the world where the trading of a stock option is your Chicago Board of Options Exchange. Okay, so here they have given the bid and offer quotes for the call option for that has to be traded for your Google on May 8, 2013. They have given you. So in the same way, you have the second part, which is the put options they have given you, right? So in the option strike prices, they have given you the strike prices, right? So you have the strike prices 820, 840, 860, 880, 860, 880, and 900. So these are your strike prices that they have given you, right? And the maturities are, they have given the maturities. These are your maturity dates, okay? Maturity is on June 13, September 2013, and December 2013. So the June options expire on June 22nd. Okay, so the option expires on June 22nd, and the same way the September option, the which ends on September 21, right? And the December options, which is going to be ending on December 21. So this option expires on June 22 and September 21 and December 21. So this is nothing but your expiration date that I'm talking you here. This is your expiration date, right? So if it is an American, the nature of option is American, you can excise between June, right? So if it is an European option, then you have to excise your contract only on June 22. So that is the difference between that. Now, one more properties you can see in the table. You can see the strike prices, right? In the call option part, you can see the strike prices is increasing continuously. Say 820, 840, 860, 880, 900, and 920, right? So here the price of the call option, so you can see the price of the call option is given in the terms of bid and offer rate, right? The price of the call option, you can see for June 20, you have the bid 56, 39.50, 25.70, 15, then 7.90 and 9, not applicable. So you can see that the strike price increases and the price of the call option decreases. So you can see the pattern over there. See, here, this is your strike prices. Has your strike prices is increasing, right? So you can see the table itself. You have in the 900, you don't have not applicable, right? It is not applicable. So here, when the price of the strike prices increases, your call option, the price of the call is decreasing entirely, right? So there is an inverse relationship between your this thing that you can interpret. In the second table for the put option, here the put option increases and the strike prices increases, right? There is also an opposite relationship between that, so that you can interpret over there. So that's all you can see in the table itself. So these are small properties that you have to know. So when we get into more detail, I'll be telling you how to look after the adjustments of your prices, right? Now let us get into one simple example so that you can understand the table what we want to do that. Suppose, assume that you are an investor. So let us get into a simple example. Suppose you are an investor, right? And you have decided that you have instructed to a broker. So you have instructed to a broker. Okay. So there is a broker. You have instructed a broker that you want to buy 1 December call option contract. So you've decided that you want to buy 1 December call option contract. I put it simple as 1 December call option. So you are the investor and you have instructed the broker that you want to buy 1 December call option. Call option of what? Call option of Google. Okay. So at a strike price Okay, at a strike price, put it as X or whatever maybe it is. At a strike price, I put it, the price is $880. Okay, so you have decided that you are the investor. You have instructed the broker that you're going to buy 1 December call option of Google at a strike price of 880. Okay, now the broker will be what the broker will be doing. The broker will be sending this instruction to the trader of CBOE. Okay, Chicago Board of Option Exchange. There will be one trader. There will be he will be sitting over there. Okay, trader will be there in the option exchanges itself. So he'll be instructing the exchange, the trader who is sitting in the CBOE. So he'll be instructing that, sir, I need a contract, option contract of Google at a strike price of $880. So he'll be instructing to him, right? So now the offer prices. So what is the price that you have to pay? You can see the table over here. So here we are purchasing the December option contract. So what is the price that we have to pay? What is the price of the option? We can look in the table and tell me. What is the price of the option?
Sir, at a strike price 880, sir, the price of the option is 880 only, no, sir?
No, strike price is 880. At 880, you're going to buy it Google.
Sir, that means
Right, Google
June.
share.
Sir, which month we should look, sir?
We are purchasing what? Which contract? Which month of option we are purchasing? December call option I am purchasing. You have
Then,
to see about the December
sir, then
2013.
56, sir. 0.3.
56.3. So here the broker will be selling you the price at the 56.30, nothing but your offer price, right? So the broker will be instructing you that the offer price of the December call option contract. Okay, so the offer price of the December call option contract is nothing but how much they are giving you. It is nothing but $56.30, right? So the price of the option. Now you're not purchasing the Google share. You're not purchasing. You're purchasing only the option contract of call option of your Google. Okay, which is at the strike price of 880. We're getting the point. So now what you have done actually, as an investor point of view, what you have done that. So the price of the option is nothing but 56.30 to buy one option contract of your Google that you have done. Now, normally in US, whenever we say that when an option contract is when a contract, if you're going to buy a contract is bought or a contract is sold, whatever maybe it is. If you're going to buy a contract or if you're going to sell a contract, normally a contract has one contract is normally 100 shares. Okay, one contract is 100 shares. So normally how much you have to arrange. So from the investor point of view, how much price of the option that you have to pay, price of option that you have to pay, that to be paid. The price is charges, or the price of the option is what? $56.30. So you have bought, how much contract you have bought? 1 December call option contract. So one contract is nothing but 100 shares. So into 100. So how much is the money? How much money you have to pay? So the outflow will be $5630. So $5,630 is the price of the option. So getting the point. So I'll just put it more simply that what you have done. So you're an investor. Okay. You have decided the right to buy. Okay. 100 Google shares. Okay. For $880 each. Okay. That you have obtained at a cost of $5,630. $630. Getting the point? So you have bought a call option, right? So right to buy is nothing but what? It is nothing but your call option. So here the call option definition you can see. You are the holder. You have the right to buy an underlying asset by a certain date is nothing but the December 2013, right? At a certain price is nothing but what? $880. Okay, so this is the thing that you have done. So you have bought a call option for 100 Google shares at a strike price. This is your strike price. Okay, so at $880 each, which is obtained at the price of what? $5630. Suppose we have the case one as an option. Suppose case one. Suppose if the price of the Google does not rise, suppose if price of Google does not rise above $880 by December 21. Okay, so whether you will exercise the option or not.
Sir, no, sir.
So you will not be exercising the option.
Yes, sir,
In the
because
table, you can
market
see
rate
that.
is lesser than strike rate, sir.
Yeah, so market is less than your the strike price that you got. So you will not be, so option will not be exercised. So what is the loss you have? Option
Sir,
is not
full
exercised.
5630, sir.
Yeah, so the price of the option is a loss. So the investor loss will be $5630, right? So because you're not exercising the option because it is not favorable to you. So suppose we can get into the second case. Suppose the case two, I will put it more simple. Case two. Suppose the bid price of the stock trades at $1,000 on December 21. Okay, so we have the strike price. Okay, I put it X is a strike price, $880. So at this price, we have entered into a contract, right? Suppose, will you buy the will you exercise the option contract?
Yes, sir.
So what is the benefit we have?
Sir, for each share we get benefit of 120, sir.
120, yeah, exactly. So what we have done here, so we have bought 100 shares of Google at $880. Okay, and what we'll be doing it, we'll be selling at $1,000 in the market, right? So what is the profit we are having? $1,000 minus $880. Okay, so as you said, we will be getting $120. So what is one contract? How many shares we have?
100
100
shares,
shares,
sir.
right? So 100 into $120. So we'll be having
$12,000.
how much?
$12,000.
$1,000. So $12,000 will be having a benefit. So here we have bought a contract, not bought a shares, right? Put it contract. We put it option contract. We have bought an option contract. So we'll be exercising contract on that day, right? So we are exercising the call option. Here we are the buyer of call, right? So the buyer of call, we are the buyer of call. We are exercising the market is more favorable to us. It is better that we can exercise this one and we buy the shares. But the spot market, or you can say on the spot, the market is trading at $1,000 on December 21st. But from the broker, we can buy the price of the Google at $880. And when you buy that, immediately we can sell in the market and we can benefit out of it. So what is the net profit we will be having? by spending our option. So what will be the cost of the option we have seen? Just we have to consider the cost of the option adjustments. Cost of option. So from the $12,000.
Sir,
So how much option price we have
sir, we
paid?
paid 5630, sir.
Yeah, so we have paid for the option contract is
Sir,
5630.
net profit is
So what is the net
6370,
profit we
sir.
have? So we are benefiting 6370. Right. So this is one type of the hedging what you're doing. Right. So by protecting yourself from the market. So getting the point. So what we are doing here. So this is nothing but the point of view of buying a call. So when we'll be buying a call. So when you'll be buying a call actually. If the market prices in the future, whether the market prices will go high or will come down.
Sir, when they are going on an upward trend, sir.
So when there is an you have notion that when the prices go up, you will buy a call, right? So that is the intention of buying a call option. So it is up to the investor or it is up to the trader. He opt for the call option or selling a call or buying a call. So it is up to the trader or the hedger. The way he decides. So normally we are a short call or long call.
Sir, we are long call, sir.
Yeah, we are in long call. So we are in long call. Okay, so we are in long call. So these are the terms that you have to remember, right? So next thing that with this thing you have been familiar with it, right? So one more example, we go to put option.
Sir,
We go
before
to
that, sir, couple of doubts, sir.
yes.
Sir, is each option only valid for 3 months, sir? Because in the quotes you have given correctly for June, September, and December, sir.
Yeah, June, September, and December. Yes. So
So,
we are going to we are going to buy the December call option. Okay,
yes,
the
sir, but
December
if I
call
had
option
bought for
expiration date is on
June,
December 21.
yes, sir, but if I had bought for
Then
June,
June
it's
20
only valid
within
for 3 months.
within June you have to exercise. The expiration date is on June 22 now. So within that you have to do that. If it is an American option or you have to exercise only on that. Suppose you are not exercising that, then the price of the option is waste. The broker is will be getting the enjoyment, but you are not exercising the option, right? The price of the
Ah,
option is wasted.
okay, sir. Sir,
You're
and
getting the point.
yes, sir,
You're buying
and
the
the
particular option contract. Don't mention that this will be switched forward. Okay, it will not be succeeding. It will not be switching forward over there. It is separate one. This is separate one. This is separate one. Each has its own expiration date. Within that expiration date, you can exercise. If it is an American option, but now we have in the exchanges we have only European options where we can exercise only on the June 22 only. You can exercise your call option.
okay, sir.
If it is favorable, if the price is favorable on the expiration date, then only you can able to exercise your call option.
Otherwise, we
If it
won't,
is
sir.
not favorable on the expiration date, then you will not be exercising. Only thing that you will be losing is nothing but the option premium that you are paying to the broker. So the price of the option is nothing
Okay,
but the
sir.
option premium that you are paid. So this is nothing but the option premium. So this is the only loss we have. So we are not having the unlimited loss. We are having only limited loss.
Got it, sir.
Right? Okay, we are having only limited loss. So when it comes to the forwards and futures contract, you have an obligation to do that. So, but there is no price being to buy in forward agreement, to buy in futures contract agreement. You're not paying any price to the broker. But only thing is that you have an obligation to perform the contract on the expiration date or on the maturity date, whatever maybe it is, or end of the term, right? So at that time you'll be facing the losses because you're obligated to do. But in options, you don't have an obligation to do that. But only the opposite party has an obligation to do that. If in this we are in long position, right? We are in long
Yes,
position.
sir. That
We
means
are
we have options,
exercising.
sir.
So we have the right. So we are. It is favorable to us. So we'll be exercising the option. But the opposite party. So we are buying a call. We are buying a call. And one more, the broker will be selling a call. So when we are exercising the option, the broker is an obligation to what?
Sell, sir.
Sell. Sell. Okay, the broker has an obligation to sell the shares at the price of 880. So who is having unlimited losses over here?
Sir, the
Broker or
broker,
we?
sir.
So the broker is having the unlimited losses,
Yes, sir.
right? So what is the advantage broker will be having? What is the premium that he is getting?
Yes, sir.
Right? So only the option premium that he is getting. So how much he is getting? 5630 only is the benefit he is getting. Right? So we'll be getting into the payoff table further as we progress. Let us have the strong grasp on the concept first. Then we'll be getting into the adjustments of the margin money and all. Get into that. So get into the put option, right? So in the same way, you can see the put option, the prices of put options on Google on May 2030 reports has been given to you. And this is taken by the CBOE website. Okay, it is not taken from a textbook, but textbook you can see the John C. Hill, even they are given the references. So this is taken from the website on CBOE. So they have given the price of put option of a particular strike price from 820 to 820 to 920. And we have the put option contract on June 2013, September 2020, and we have December 2013. So same thing, we have the bid and offer rate for all the contracts we have. So now we have decided to sell the put option. Suppose assume that we are the investor and we have decided to sell a put. So sell a put option. So we have decided to sell a put option, right? So we will take the put option of the September. Okay, September put option will be taking that, right? So we have decided to sell the strike price. So strike price is I will take $840. Okay, I take $840 of your Google, which is your strike price. So you want to sell a put option of $840 of a strike price of your Google at price. At what price? At what price I could sell actually?
Sir, $31, sir.
Yeah. So at the bid price, which is $31. Okay. So immediately you're selling a put. You're selling a put. You're not buying a put. You're selling a put. So what will be the inflow for you? Think about the another. So we have the buyer of put and seller of put. Now we are broker. Think about in the angle of broker. See, there is difference between buying a call, selling a call. There is difference between a buyer buying a put and selling a put. Now we are seller of a put. Okay. Now you tell me, what is the inflow we are having?
Sir, for 100 shares, again, if we assume $3,100, sir.
So the inflow of cash for us is nothing but the premium which is paid by the whom? The buyer of the put to us. You getting the point?
Yes, sir.
The buyer of the put will be buying an option premium. So he'll be paying the option premium to us. Okay, so that will be income for us. So he'll be paying only the $31 for 100 shares. So we'll be having the $31 into 100. So one contract is nothing but 100 shares. So it comes around how much?
3,100, sir.
1,100.
So yeah, 3,100. So this will be the inflow of our cash. Now get into the case right now. Suppose we have suppose in case one, suppose the price I put it as goes above $840. Suppose the price goes above $840, will the option will be exercised by the put buyer?
Sir, no, sir.
So he will not exercise the option, right? So he's going to buy put. So when a put option is bought by the put buyer, what is the intention that he will buy the put?
Sir, prices are downward trend, sir.
Yeah. So when So from the point of view of the buyer, he has a notion that in future there may be a fall in Google prices. So that is the intention that he has bought the put option. But as we are the broker, so what is the benefit we are having since the option is not excised? What is the profit we as a broker we have?
Sir, full 3,100, sir.
Since the option, yeah, exactly. So only the option premium is the profit for us. So option is not excised by the put buyer, right? So the put buyer is not excising option. So we are making a profit. So making a profit. So this is the only profit amount we have, right?
Yes, sir.
3,100. So this is the only profit that we are earning. So we are only limited profit, right? Here the option. So we're not able to earn an unlimited profit. Getting it. So from the angle of the broker, we are selling the put. So we can earn only limited profit. That is nothing but the option premium, which is paid by the put buyer. So let us get into the case 2. Suppose in the case 2, suppose the stock price of the Google falls below $800, or put it that the stock price is 800, okay, and it falls below. The stock price is trending toward downwards, or it falls in future it falls below. Assume that the stock price that is trading on the expiration date. So this which we have bought only the September contract, right? September option contract we have bought. So we are selling the September option contract. So we're not buying, we are selling the September put option contract. So September, what is the expiration date? September 21. Okay. September 21. Suppose on September 21, the Google price has been trading at 800. Okay. Will the put buyer will be exercising option?
Yes, sir. He's at long put. We are at short put, sir.
Yeah. So he is at long put and we are in short put. So now what is the benefit? What is the loss or the benefit we'll be having?
So sir, gross losses 840 into 100 shares, sir. Then this 3,100 we should subtract, sir.
Okay, how much you are getting?
Sir, 80,900, sir.
80,900. Let me
Net
check it
loss,
out.
sir.
Okay, suppose the put buyer has bought the contract. Okay, so he bought the contract, the 100 shares at $840, which is a strike price, right? So let us subtract because we are in loss. So $800 minus $840, right? So how much we are having? Negative $40, right? So this negative for $40 can be multiplied into 100 shares. It will comes around how much? Minus 4,000. Okay, right? So how much is the premium we had?
3,100, sir.
3,100. So what is the remaining thing that we have?
900, sir.
900. So we are having only $900. You're getting the point? $900. So from the 800, so we find 900. Suppose further, suppose the price from the 800, suppose the price goes down at suppose it goes down to 600, 620. So what is the thing that we are having? We from the option premium can we earn? Think about that.
No, sir.
We put it at 620 minus.
Sir, each share loss is 220, sir.
So how much we are having?
Sir, 22,000 gross loss, sir. Then this 3,100 we can subtract, sir. Net loss
So
is
how much?
18,900.
We are having loss 18,900.
900 unlimited loss, sir.
So unlimited loss. So getting the point? What I am to tell. So you're getting the concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
So as the seller of the put, you have unlimited losses. Further the share goes down, you have to bear the losses. Right. So you are only you have only limited profit. So from the point of view of the seller of the put or the seller of the call, you have limited profit and unlimited losses. So when it comes to the buyer of the put, he is having what? Vice versa. He is having limited losses and unlimited profit. Getting the point? So this is the concept, simple concept of your the call and put, right? So hope so. With this, I'll be ending the session because I don't want to get into more into mathematical part, right? It will take tomorrow. We'll be getting to the mathematical equations of the options and futures. You try the exercises which is given below that. Try to work on that, right? So with that, is there any clarifications to be done? People are clear on that. That we have done the options today.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right.